Ladies, and this is the feature attraction of the evening. The best
is disqualified. Ooh. Slammed him into
mercifully with his headlock. Look out. Oh.
And Brody just going berserk here on
Johnny, look at this. Fans, there's no mistaking Billy Graham.
Getting the heck out of Dodge. And they tanned Ric Flair.
I want you and everyone listening in to know one thing, that if they ever made another guy better than me, he hasn't been made.
Fine. Nice tackle by Flair. Put Steamboat down. Good movement by Steamboat. Great leap from. And what a top. And the champion of the world on the
Head was the dead.
Oh, come on now.
Might have hurt his leg a little bit there.
A referee stands stubborn.
Billy plays that fight though.
Go into the ring when Roddy Piper Doc Conwell wants to go into the ring, Mr. Announcer. Right.
Here comes Koloff off the ropes. Look at the power. Oh, he hit the back of his head. Oh!
That is, to a nicer guy, it couldn't happen.
What a supreme effort by two phenomenal athletes. Dr. Death, the guy hit the football target. He hit it. Gordy outside. Neither man wants to say he's had enough. Dr. Death standing as the pile driver, but Gordy is standing after the stampede. Both men have been busted. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be another day. There will be another day. And we will be right back. Let's get out of it. Wait a minute. Hold it right here. We're back at it. We're back at it. Williams and Gordy.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Universal Wrestling Federation. This is Universal Wrestling. I'm Jim Ross, and I'll be your host for the next 60 minutes. It's going to be a tremendous hour. You'll see some great single competitors like Eli the Eliminator in the hour. You'll see the giant Angel of Death and the return of Ted DiBiase in the hour, plus great tag team action. You're going to see the Fantastics take on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. You'll see Chavo Guerrero scheduled to be Iceman King Parsons as his partner. They'll be taking on the former UWF Tag Team Champions, Bad Leroy Brown and Wild Bill Irwin. I say former champions, Terry Taylor and Hacksaw Duggan in Fort Worth, Texas, won those Universal Heavyweight Championship belts. Michael P.S. Hayes will also be joining me in the hour to provide some color commentary. It should be a super hour. We hope that you're having a great holiday season, and we're really going to start off 1987 with a bang. Some big matches, some great confrontations. We're happy that you're with us, and now let's go to the ring and Mike Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Anaheim, California, at 6'7½", 322 pounds, the Angel of Death. His opponent from Dallas, Texas, at 245 pounds, Jeff Reitz. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Jeff Reitz has a tremendous challenge ahead of him. Jeff's a tremendous young athlete, 234-pounder from Dallas, as he'll be going against the 320-pound Angel of Death and Sunshine, of course, at ringside. Two fine young athletes, an outstanding smaller man, there's Sunshine, going against an outstanding big man. Both these young men showing a lot of agility. The Angel of Death, he's a big guy that has impressed a lot of wrestling fans. Still relatively inexperienced, but he has a tremendous amount of potential. And he is under the tutelage of Michael P.S. Hayes and the balance of the Freebird family. So you can bet that his progress will be certainly accelerated, thanks to his association with Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Jack Roberts, the fabulous Freebirds. as the Angel of Death brings Jeff Race back into the ring, but Race was ready for it. And one drop kick and one too many as the Angel of Death moved out of the way, and now he's taking back over on Jeff Race. Remember, coming up next, don't go away, the Fantastics meet Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. Body slam by the Angel of Death. Flying modified version of the one-man gang 747, but you can see that it's not in that league right now. Drop kick, that's a very impressive maneuver by the 6'7", 320-pounder. Of course, there's not many 495-pound men walking the face of the earth, number one. So the gang 747 is certainly in a class by itself. Jeff Rates now, a fall away by the Angel, and the Angel of Death with a lateral press, and referee Tommy Gilbert counts 3, and we have a victory for the Angel of Death. And we've got outstanding tag team competition. The Fantastics against Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. It should be a classic, and we'll have it right after this timeout. Eddie Gilbert and Sting making their way to the ring. We'll hear from the Fantastics. They'll be coming out in just a moment. Right now, let's hear this from Mike Wilson.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from every girl's dream, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And from every man's nightmare, Sting.
Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting, minus Missy Hyatt at ringside. And this crowd, they're getting pumped right now because making their way to the ring momentarily. From Chillicothe, Ohio, Bobby Fulton. Want to say hello to his friends there. Bobby Fulton, Tommy Rogers, better known as the Fantastics. One of the most outstanding tag team combinations in the country today. And this should be a phenomenal matchup. And we have got a jam-packed Tulsa Convention Center. It's filled to the rafters. And the crowd loves the Universal Wrestling Federation. And in just a few weeks, we'll be announcing some big plans on the 1987 World Tour. UWF in some of the outstanding areas like Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, St. Louis, back in Kansas City. UWF will be on fire in '87, and it is the hottest wrestling association in the world today. And I'll tell you, this matchup that you're about to see, the Fantastics against Gilbert and Sting, should be a classic matchup. This should be awesome. Plus, you've got impressive Eli, the Eliminator, coming in the hour. The return of the one and only Ted DiBiase in the hour. Michael P.S. Hayes was here. And ladies and gentlemen, what a phenomenal crowd. It is standing room only in Tulsa. The place is alive with UWF excitement. This is not the only tag team match you'll see. The former champions, Van Leroy Brown and Wild Bill Irwin, if you just joined us, Devastation lost the titles to Hacksaw Duggan and Terry Taylor in the Metroplex just about a week ago. Well, get ready to rock and get ready to roll. This is the Universal Wrestling Federation, and let's get it started.
Also introducing from the City of Angels and the combined weight of 420 pounds, the Fantastics. This has one fall of television time remaining.
One fall, our television time remaining. A lot of fans have been writing the Universal Wrestling Federation, and we do encourage you to write. Let us know what you like or you don't like about the UWF. This is the Fans Association. The real wrestling fans will tell you, they'll tell you that Tommy and Bobby are fantastic, but they'll also tell you that the UWF is where the excitement is. As charismatic Bobby Fulton, he wanted me to say hello to all his family in Chillicothe, Ohio, watching our program on the great television station in Columbus, Ohio. And this crowd is into it. Eddie Gilbert and Sting would like to remove the crowd from this contest. But as it is in so many athletic events, the crowd can play a big, big part in the outcome of a match. Collar and elbow tie up, back into the corner. Eddie Gilbert with the first, broke the rules right out of the box. The first cheap shot there, but Fulton reverses it. And Fulton with the atomic drop, and Eddie Gilbert was hurtled into Sting, and Sting and Gilbert meeting, but not very ceremoniously indeed, as the Fantastics here, this crowd will bring the best out in you. I don't know where there are better wrestling fans, more intense fans, more enthusiastic fans, and more loyal fans than the wrestling fans that follow the Universal Wrestling Federation. Fulton, there was a tag there, and catapulting out of the corner. There's a great drop kick by Tommy Rogers, and a second one, and a third one. And Rogers back to his feet. Sting and Gilbert, remember, is the legal man in the ring, as is Tommy Rogers. Rogers, who possesses one of the most outstanding drop kicks in the wrestling profession. And Eddie Gilbert better collect his thoughts here a little bit. I guess he will. He'll be on the outside thinking about it, as he has tagged Sting into the squared circle to go against Tommy Rogers in this tag team matchup that we've really looked forward to since we knew it would be signed. Sting, an outstanding young competitor, throwing Tommy Rogers. Not the normal body slam, but throwing Tommy Rogers and Sting in marvelous condition. And if you look at these four athletes in the ring, you're going to see why, just one of the reasons why, that the Universal Wrestling Federation is the most exciting professional wrestling organization in the country. It's conditioning, and it's great matchups, it's great pairings, it's competition. As Sting poses for this partisan crowd, and Rogers, I'd like to know what's going through his mind there, and Gilbert congratulating Sting on his successes in the last few moments against Tommy Rogers. Backing into the ropes they go. Carl Fergie calling for the break. Let's see if he gets a clean one, and he doesn't. A cheap shot by Sting. Sting drops down. Leapfrog by Rogers, and another drop kick. Right hand by Rogers, and into Fulton's foot, and there was the tag. Fulton strutting his stuff there. And that right hand caught Sting. So now it's Fulton and Sting. Don't forget, Iceman King Parsons scheduled to be Chavo Guerrero's partner against Bad Leroy Brown and Wild Bill Irwin. There's the tag. Patented Fantastics teamwork here on Universal Wrestling. If you just joined us, remember, the impressive newcomer, Eli the Eliminator, will be with us in the hour, along with my color analyst, Michael P.S. Hayes, will be joining us in this hour as well. And then buried deep to the midsection of Tommy Rogers. And now Eddie Gilbert, who thought he would have the advantage, quite obviously. But Rogers, using his expertise and his magnificent quickness, beat Gilbert to the punch, and now the tag was made. And the Fantastics, with great teamwork, you can bet that they would like to have a match for the Universal Tag Team Championship. Champions Hacksaw Duggan and Terry Taylor. And friendships will be set aside if that match would come about, because it's a business, it's a profession. They're in it for the money. You're in it for your livelihood, and the championships bring the better livelihood, quite obviously. Nice move by Eddie Gilbert, but an equally positive maneuver by Tommy Rogers as he held on to the arm bar. And we'll be taking a commercial break in about 60 seconds. We will keep taping this match, and we'll be back as soon as possible. And that was a blatant infraction of the rules. About everybody here but Carl Fergie, I think, saw that. But now you can tell that Gilbert has had a profound influence on Sting. Sting caught the referee out of position, and inflicted a little bit more punishment on Bobby Fulton. Vertical suplex. And a nice neck breaker. And a pinning predicament here, 1, 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more of this outstanding tag team matchup after this from the Universal Wrestling Federation. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross back with you in the capacity-filled Tulsa Convention Center. And this tag team match, the Fantastics taking on Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert and Sting. The fans here did not miss any of the action. That's why you need to be at the national television tapings if you have the opportunity. But during the commercial break, Gilbert and Sting continued to work on the lower back of Bobby Fulton. And the crowd really getting into this thing. Gilbert trying to prevent a tag to keep his opponent, in this particular situation, Bobby Fulton, in the danger zone. As the song says, don't let him pass that line of demarcation. Let's stay in our half of the ring. But Fulton with a perfect hip lock, taking Gilbert over. But Sting, who apparently tagged, and obviously that he did, but Sting did not let Gilbert or let Fulton make the tag. And look at the strength of that young athlete. He's mastering more offensive maneuvers each and every time that I see him. One of the most impressive athletes of 1987 may well be Sting, and maybe one of the fine teams in the future may be Sting and a combination of Gilbert and Steiner. Perhaps Sting and Steiner is Gilbert's meal ticket. Who knows? But Gilbert can get it on as well. Getting closer to that corner. Fulton is everything he's got to get that tag. You've got to hold that. And now that was a piece of strategy and a breaking of the rule by Sting. And man, Gilbert has got their game plan razor sharp. The referee was turned just for an instant. And the pinning predicament with Fulton near the ropes, and the rope saved Fulton, I think, from pinfall there. But Battling Bob from Chillicothe is fighting back. Bobby Fulton, now Gilbert back in there. He's a superb ring strategist. Both men colliding there as Fulton came out of the ropes. I was saying that Gilbert has got to be considered, along with Michael Hayes and others that we can mention, one of the most supreme ring strategists in this sport. And he's going to have to really reach into his mental recesses, because it's getting awfully physical. There's a tag by Sting, and there is a tag by Fulton, and Tommy Rogers is in. Tommy Rogers, full of fire, but Bobby Fulton has sustained so much punishment. Fulton may well be hurt on the ring apron there. And Terry Gordy, Bam Bam Gordy, has gone to the ring. Now the Fantastics and the Freebirds have had quite a situation. But Gordy wasn't here, and Gordy just slammed Bobby Fulton face first into the steel ring post, and the referee is calling for the bell. Now Gordy has no love lost for Gilbert or Sting, but he has a hatred, obviously, for the Fantastics, as the big bammer from Bad Street is battling Tommy Rogers, and there's that Freebird pile driver, and he jammed it. Bam Bam Gordy, for some reason, has come to the ring. The only thing I can think of is that Gordy, who was not here when the Fantastics and Freebirds got it on, here comes Dr. Death Steve Williams. Things are going to change, but Gordy getting out of the ring. Boy, that situation has boiled. But we've got the Fantastics, Fulton and Rogers. Fulton was busted, and Rogers has had that pile driver. Doc in there to check on his friends. Terry Gordy, this is a sadistic attack.
Let me tell you something, boy. You're next on my list.
Well, you You better pack a lunch, Bam Bam. And I have all the respect in the world for Terry Gordy. But when you say you're going to put Steve Williams out of action, you better prepare to stay a while, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
I'm going to your story, but a place you don't want to be at. This ain't no home sweet home, it's a home sweet misery. We knew when we got here, they tried to pull us away. But when they seen us walk down the street, they ran the other way. Backstreet.
Well, Akbar, you tried it again. You've had yourself a good laugh now. You've paid them big bonus dollars for the one-man gang to put me out. Well, he sent me on a vacation. He fractured my ribs. He did a pretty good number on me. But you can't kill my spirit. And until somebody hurts me bad enough that I can't climb back in that ring, I want to keep coming back. And I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I am 100% well. And today, I'm going to climb back in that ring and start showing everybody and making everybody know that my presence is here and it's going to be felt. One-man gang, you better take a very long, hard look at this face, because you're going to be seeing an awful lot of it in the very near future. Every time you turn around, I'm going to be right up in that big face of yours. I'm a wrestler. I'm not a bully. I'm not a 400-pound freak. I'm a wrestler, and I'm coming back to show you and everybody else what I'm made of. And today is the day it starts. 1987 is going to be my year.
Not another day you live, not another day you walk the face of the earth, DiBiase, will you ever be charmed and as lucky as you were. But now, DiBiase, the war is on. The gang will put you away like never before this time. And if you think broken ribs were tough of war, boy, the punk slapper's got something he's going to tell you about. You better listen and listen good. You know, General, I don't know what's going on. The referee counted 1, 2, 3, and it wasn't even a match. It wasn't a scheduled match out there, and the referee counted me out. Well, it's not right, and I don't know what's going on in the UWF DiBiase, but I'm guaranteeing you one thing. If you think your ribs hurt before when I busted them up, they're going to hurt twice as bad, because you got 2 rib cages, and I'm going to bust both of them. You don't pin the one-man gang. You got a fast count in your favor, DiBiase, but it's all over.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and that sign, the Fantastics have their fans. I'm joined here by the one and only Michael P.S. Hayes.
It didn't look like they were strutting their stuff to me. If that's what they call a strut, they need to learn from the man that walks the walk and talks the talk, and they need to learn that Bam Bam is back, better than ever.
And I'd like to speak with him about this situation, Michael. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things over the last several weeks that I've had on my mind that I'd like to speak to Terry Gordy.
Well, you know what? I just might be able to arrange that for you, okay?
Let's work on that.
Okay, we'll just work on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael's back with us. He'll be with us for the balance of the hour, and we're going to go to the ring announcer, Mike Wilson, Eli the Eliminator, in action momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first from San Antonio at 228 pounds, Bobby Perez.
Bobby Perez awaiting.
And his opponent from Gary, Indiana at 265 pounds, Eli the Eliminator.
Awesome.
This match, 1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
Awesome upper body, Jim Ross. Look at those. Look at the pectorials. Look at the quadriceps.
Tattoos.
Tattoos ain't going to win you no matches, brother. It's that bulk.
It's just the new year, Michael. I'm in a good mood.
It is.
Great show.
Yeah, we're going to see how many
people.
I
want to know the fan. That was a little bit ridiculous a while ago, but let's talk about Eli the Eliminator.
That was beautiful. I still wonder, good knee. See, this man's solid. He just works on beating people up. I still wonder who he's got to be aligned with, Jim Ross. Nobody comes into UWF, especially now with all the groups aligning against each other, and comes in as a free agent. He's got to be here for somebody, for some reason.
That's a very interesting concept. I'd like to find
right now. It looks like just to beat up Bobby Perez. He goes for the cover, didn't hook the leg. I guess he didn't want to. He doesn't want to beat him yet. You know, Jim Ross, some of my friends, Greg and Steve from Security Kennels in Little Rock, were at a dog meeting the other day, and they said they ran into people from Denver, Minneapolis, L.A., and all they were talking about wasn't the fact of the dog convention, was the fact of UWF. And here we are in 1987. What a clothesline! The #1 wrestling program in the United States, and the reason why is the awesome wrestlers that are here.
And the new talent flooding into the UWF is really something. This young man, Eli the Eliminator, is we've got some great young talent here, Michael, in addition to some various...
Whoa, did you see that?
Boy, he's strong.
He just tossed him into the ropes like a bag of flour. Maybe you can make a tortilla out of him or something now. Bobby Perez has not had one offensive move. Looks like that inverted pile driver we seen a few weeks ago. Yes. Whoa, that's got to be it. 3.
1, 2, and 3. Eli the Eliminator, wasting little time and taking care of Bobby Perez. And ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, Michael Hayes and I will be right back at the Big Cheese from Omaha. Ted DiBiase.
I still wonder who he's associated with, Jim Ross.
Well, I know it's not Ted DiBiase. That's the man. Welcome back to Universal Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Ross and Michael Hayes back with you. Michael P.S. Hayes back with you. Excuse me. I haven't seen you in quite some time, and I'm glad that, well, I don't know if I'm glad or not. A lot of thoughts are on my mind. This Terry Gordy situation about the Fantastics.
Beat him up by himself.
Yeah, he beat some people up, but I don't... what motivated that situation?
What do you mean, what motivated that situation?
It was a great match. It was a great match. It cheated the fans out of seeing the rest of a super matchup, in my opinion.
What it did, it showed them the difference between premium gasoline and regular. And Freebirds are premium gasoline and don't appreciate getting that belt ripped off. I told you, it's been weeks, but when we all got back together, things were going to get done, and they're getting done whether you like it or not.
Oh, well, something that got done a few weeks ago in the Cowtown Coliseum at the National Taping of Power Pro Wrestling, the one-man gang coming off that second rope with a 747, putting Ted DiBiase out of action. Ted DiBiase is back. He'll be here wrestling in a few moments, Michael, as well.
Well, that's great. I'm glad the guy's back, you know, because anybody that can take a 747 and come back in the ring, you say it shows guts, I say it shows stupidity.
Introducing from Vicksburg, Mississippi, at 227 pounds, Ken Massey.
Ken Massey will be going against Ted DiBiase. You've heard the comments. You saw what happened, Michael, and you know Ted DiBiase about as well as you do anybody, or about as well as anybody can know Ted DiBiase, I might say, as far as an opponent is concerned. He's coming back with a vengeance and in great shape.
He's a man that can meet adversity at any time. I just question, how many times do you have to see the light, see the picture that you ain't going to climb that mountain?
Ted DiBiase certainly had his share of injuries in '86. We wish him the best for a healthy '87.
Also introducing from Omaha, Nebraska, at 255 pounds, Ted DiBiase.
As you can tell, the fans,
1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
The fans are definitely glad to see him back and return to sellout crowd here at the Tulsa Convention Center. Nothing new for the UWF. You know, I still think I deserve a big thanks for me and my brothers making this the #1 show. #1 Wrestling Federation. DiBiase, right away to what he does best, and that's wrestle.
You're a real humanitarian, you know it?
Well, one of my greatest traits is my humbleism. Massey here, now you got to give Massey credit. He's trying to wrestle all kinds of wrestlers, see different kind of styles, and challenging Ted DiBiase, who will see his scientific style, but DiBiase controlling it from the out point. You've seen a fireman's carry, a good body slam, and right back to the arm. Good fireman's carry. See, a veteran will stay on one body part. It makes sense. Once you got something weak, and stay with it. A lot of the young wrestlers will start on one body part, go to another. It's wasting time. Now, Massey, maybe changing his style. DiBiase said, okay, kid. Want to make a name for yourself? Not here. DiBiase, legal chop, but he's in the ropes. Legal forearm, but still in the ropes.
And he's brought out of the ropes, Ken
High
Massey.
heel. Good drop kick.
Teddy, he looks sharp today.
He sure does, and I don't see no effect so far on his ribs. What happened? Good power slam, that's it. He's got the leg and the head hook. Beautiful. I don't like the guy, but that's how wrestling's done.
That's exactly right. Ken Massey just got educated.
But I still think he might ought to go for one of these smaller organizations because he's wasting his time here. He can't get by the gang. He sure won't get by the Freebird. He asked for this. Welcome back, Teddy. Welcome back to the UWF.
This is not a match, but DiBiase is just a man-on-man challenge.
I told him he needs to go to one of those minimal wrestling organizations. You got to play with the big and the tough boys here. Gang's biting him. He's biting him.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Terry Gordy can go through Dr. Death, which that hasn't been proven.
That's no problem.
Then the battle with the Bam Bam and the gang will be something. But this thing right here is a long darn way from over.
It might be a trip down memory lane. Another 747. This is it.
Boy, this is not the way to start the year.
Happy New Year. Look at the look on Gang's face. Look at the blood off of his lips from biting DiBiase's head. There he goes. DiBiase move. DiBiase move. What's he doing? He's hooking him. He's got him sugared leg. 1, 2, 3.
DiBiase has pinned the one-man gang.
That wasn't a real match.
DiBiase.
the holiday season or post-holiday season and family gets together, I thought that the Freebird family would like to just let everybody know what's in store for 87. As you see Sunshine here, PS right here, Bam Bam and Buddy Jack. I want everybody to know that it's not going to be a good 87 except for us. Ain't that right, big brother?
That's right. Happy New Year. You know, I'd just like to say this. I don't feel too good standing out here without my Universal title, and I'd just like for everybody to know that. And, you know, there's a lot of people going to pay. That's all I can say.
Hey, I don't feel very happy staying out here without my TV title, and I don't like anybody.
Sweetheart, you're both going to get your titles. All three are the best. In 1987, you're going to show everybody who the best is. There's no doubt in our minds, right?
And at this time, in 1988, it'll have all come true. You can bank on it.
Oh, yeah, it seems like the big question uppermost on everybody's mind now is like, who's going to get in line now for a shot at the Universal Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles? Well, that's not the question uppermost on our mind, is it?
I want the belt.
You know, the biggest question on our mind right now is which of us three maybe will go after Savannah Jack for his TV title, so that'll leave two of us to go after the tag team titles. You see, it doesn't really matter. You can have this great tag team right here, but then again, if Steiner decides he wants to go and beat Savannah Jack for the TV title, that leaves me and Sting.
I want them
If
all.
Sting decides he wants to go and wrestle the one-man gang for the UWF heavyweight title, that leaves me and Steiner. Then maybe if I decide I want to beat the one-man gang and Savannah Jack, that leaves Sting and Steiner to walk in and take the tag team titles. And Missy, I know that's what's going to keep you with me, this title. Anything you want?
Ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by General Skandor Akbar, from Chicago at 375 pounds, Bad Leroy Brown. And from Minnesota at 295 pounds, Wild Bill Irwin.
Ladies and gentlemen, during the commercial break, I went to the dressing room. We got some, Ted DiBiase, we got some comments from him. He beat the one-man gang with a wrestling move. He pinned the gang.
But not a sanctioned match.
It wasn't a sanctioned match, but he pinned him, and here's what he had to say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ted DiBiase pinning the one-man gang. It wasn't a non-sanctioned match, but the bottom line is that you pinned the one-man gang, Teddy.
That's right, Jim Ross. You know, all through my career, I have never proclaimed to be the greatest brawler in the world. I have never protested that I was the strongest wrestler in the world or anything else. The name at the top of the marquee is WRESTLING, wrestling. And that's what I am, one-man gang. I am a wrestler. And I've proved it to you and everybody watching that I can out-wrestle you. Yes, you're bigger than I am. You are stronger than I am. The one-man gang, I'm smarter than you are. And I put your 400-pound body through the mat for a 3 count. Belt wasn't on the line. It wasn't a sanctioned match. But the fact still remains that your shoulders were on the mat. I did it once, Jim Ross. They've called me a tactician for years. I've done it once, and now the Universal Wrestling Federation knows that I can get the job done. That puts me right in line, one-man gang. Akbar, you listening? Stick your nose in there again. You made a fatal mistake. You didn't finish me off. I'm back, and I'm hot on the trail for that belt. This is the second time now I've beat a man that's held that belt, and I've come away with nothing but a pat on the back. Next time, gang, the belt's going to be on the line, and then it's going to be mine.
Ted DiBiase, the one-man gang, faces a tremendous challenge.
And introducing their opponents from St. Louis, Missouri at 234 pounds, the Iceman, Dean Parsons. Also introducing from Mountain Valley, California at 225 pounds, Chavo Guerrero. This match, 1 fall or television time remaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you before this match gets started that next week, the UWF Tag Team Championship will be on the line. Terry Taylor and Hacksaw Duggan will defend their newly won titles against Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Buddy Jack Roberts, the Fabulous Freebirds, and Michael P.S. Hayes, my colleague, will be challenging Savannah Jack for the television title. Dark Journey and Missy Hyatt, a girls match with lumberjack rules. All that right here on TV next week, Michael.
Well, you can get it nowhere but the UWF, and we finally get some kind of justice, some kind of retaliation for the way we were ripped off. Look at Chavo Guerrero take the big man down with a flying body press. Chavo and Iceman will definitely complement each other's style. Both quick wrestlers, know how to wrestle. Iceman Ken Brawlett was a Golden Gloves boxer. Here he comes in. Irwin and Brown got to be on a downslide. Got to be feeling depressed after being beat for the titles at Fort Worth. But you know what? I want people to think about this. Terry has still not got his just due return match. Every champion has a return clause. He is not to get his chance against the one-man gang. And now after what happened with DiBiase hooking him in a wrestling move for a 1-2-3, I imagine he's going to have to wait longer.
Well, Steve Williams is also standing in that line.
Well, I am too.
Along with a lot of people.
Iceman using them lefts to knock down Leroy Brown. It's obvious Chavo and him decided they're going to work the arm. Good tags and keeping a fresh man in.
So we got 2 championship matches for you right here next week. The girls match with lumberjack rules. It'll be another tremendous hour here next week, and we certainly do appreciate you being with us.
I wonder what would happen if I happened to be out there and they threw Dark Journey out my way. Or if they even threw that other broad.
The other lady, you mean?
Broad. Irwin now coming in. Now that looks more like Irwin and Brown. Come in, attack people. But see, that's what Iceman and Chavo stop right there. Good backbreaker slam. Could be it. It's not hooking the leg, though.
I've been very impressed with the efforts of Wild Bill Irwin as of late. He's really coming to his own here in the UWF. He's a great athlete.
Whoa, he went for it again. See that? Guerrero. Looks like he's going for a roll-up. Yes. 1, 2. Whoa. I think a lot of people have been watching the tactics of Brown and Irwin, what brought him the title, just steamrolling in, and learned that if you don't let him get started like that, slow it down some, you take them a little bit out of their game plan.
We'll also have, hopefully, if Michael can arrange it, that interview that I'd like to have next week with Terry Gordy.
I talked to Bam Bam. He said he'll grant you an interview. Big high backdrop. He started to go for a bear hug, and now he's antagonizing Iceman. Here's where the psychology comes. Here's where it is. Draw a man out of his element. Good tag team move. Good tag team move.
Big overhand right by Leroy Brown. 375 pounds. We're inside 60 seconds of airtime here on Universal Wrestling.
Chavo with the right, not having too much effect. But there's that savant kick, and there's a tag to Iceman. Iceman, boom. Good drop kick. Setting up. Headbutt. Now, I don't know how much effect against Leroy's big head. Had some. It rocked him. Whoa!
Oh, he's
300 plus in the air. Good elbow.
Penny predicament.
But see, you cannot, if you don't hook that leg, man, you give the guy strength to power out. Now, back to the arm. Break across the eyes by Brown.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, 2 championship matches next week. The tag titles on the line. Duggan and Taylor defending against the Freebirds. Michael Hayes challenging Savannah Jack for the television title. Dark Journey and Missy Hyatt with lumberjack rules.
Good left by Iceman.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just about out of time. From Michael P.S. Hayes, I'm Jim Ross. We'll see you next week on Universal Wrestling.
Nope, that didn't work. Look out. Boom.
Ladies and this is the feature attraction of the evening. The best
is disqualified. Ooh. Slammed him into
mercifully with his headlock. Look out. Oh.
And Brody just going berserk here on
Johnny, look at this. Fans, there's no mistaking Billy Graham.
Getting the heck out of Dodge. And the tanned Ric Flair.
I want you and everyone listening in to know one thing. That if they ever made another guy better than me, he hasn't been made.
Fine. Nice tackle by Flair. Put Steamboat down. Good movement by Steamboat. Great leap from. And what a chop. And the champion of the world on the head was the tag. Oh, come on now.
Might have hurt his leg a little bit there.
A referee.
Tabernacle.
Till he plays that fight off.
Go into the ring when Roddy Piper Doc Conwell wants to go into the ring, Mr. America. Right.
Here comes Koloff over the rope. Look at the power.
Oh, he hit the back of his head. Oh!
That is, to a nicer guy, it couldn't happen.